Hello, 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 everyone. Now, tell me that I'm not a versatile channel. Tell me that I don't go from a big van like the video from yesterday to a small car, a small little convertible from the 50s. I give options for everyone, and this is one of them. Let's do a proper presentation. What we have in front of us right now, it's a 143 scale, 1956. And let's just wait until it goes around. It's a Saab Sonett Super Sport. Now, when I was doing a little investigation about the Saab Sonett, this model specifically was a model that really, it was mainly intended for the American market. And that was because the American market back in the 50s was very lucrative and they want to compete. These cars wanted to compete with the little Corvettes and the little the little Ford Thunderbird, which it was the Ford Thunderbird was bigger, but they wanted to compete and they wanted to make sure they wanted to be in the market, and the back then was the most successful market in the world, the one that used to sell the most amount of cars. So they say, you know what, we need to get in here, and very quickly. Then after that, when the Saab Sonett came back again in the 60s, they started selling a little bit more like in Europe, specifically in Sweden, which is their home market, which is the Saab was originally from it's originally from Sweden, even though it was no longer in the market. But again, great little cute little convertible. I'm not sure how reliable were they. Not sure, because they were new to the Saab did not make those little convertibles before. That was not what they were known for. They were known for those little 2-door or 4-door sedans. Now this model was very only made between 1955 to 1957. So it was a very small roadster, not a small roadster with a small engine, by the way. So, you know, when it came to the North American market, they really had some nice thinking in bringing such a small engine to a car to the North American market. Now, this engine was a 748 cc's, two stroke, Saab two stroke. It was a 3-cylinder, by the way, 3-cylinder engine, only stick shift, no manual up in here. These were only stick shift. These cars were only made for specific markets, not for everyone that just wanted to have a car. It was more for the one that really wanted to have a little sports car in their garage. I find it a little cute. This car reminds me of, there was a big cartoon back in the days, probably about the 80s and 90s. It was called Speed Racer, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look at the front picture of that cartoon, it was this kid driving like a white convertible, like a white roadster, like this one, similar. And if not sure if it's Speed Racer, but I'm almost certain. But it's just the type of car that you definitely only want to drive on a quiet road, on a sunny day, obviously, because I don't think it had a cover. It was just a car for a little drive around a weekend and a sunny day, probably spring or summer. But cute car. At the end of the day, it was a cute little car. And nowadays they're super collectible. They're rare, very rare, and very expensive to own. To find one in good condition. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let it go around a few times and I'll be right back. Alright, guys. So, what do you guys think about this little Saab? Do you think if it would have came out probably 10 years after, would have had a better success? It would have been more popular? I think this little car would have been a good competition for those little British convertible like the MGs and the Triumph. There was a big 60s era for the MGs and the Triumphs and the Sunbeam and those little convertible. I think, and probably a little bigger engine. I would have said another 1,000 cc's added to what they had already. And it would have been a really good competition, good car. And now you see add a roof to it because you don't want to make sure that in case you hit those all those sudden rainy days and you're in one of them, you don't want to finish soaked and hate the car forever owning one. You want to make sure you like it still because you can cover it and keep driving it. All right, all right, everyone. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up that I always appreciate. Don't forget to click and subscribe. And when you click in the subscribe button, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. So that's the homework for you. You can't ask for more than that. Hey, everything's there. And let me know in the comments below. Have you ever seen one in person? They're very rare. I've seen a couple of them in car shows, but they're very rare to find. And they're super collectibles. Alright, everyone. Take care of yourselves more than ever. And goodbye.